Live from Dolphin Soccer Park on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II men's soccer coverage live on the ECC network. Today's matchup features the College of Staten Island Dolphins taking on the Daemen University Wildcats. For the Dolphins, they come in 4-9-2 overall. The Wildcats are 6-6-3. But more importantly, the Dolphins are 2-2-2 in the East Coast Conference. They remain alive for a playoff spot in the ECC. The Wildcats come in 2-3-1 in the East Coast Conference. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, this is Joe Foreman on the call, solo ahead of today's game between the College of Staten Island and Daemen University. We do have one senior who is being recognized ahead of kickoff, so we'll turn our camera shot over toward midfield as that speech is taking place right now. The Dolphins only have one senior, and he is our lone men's soccer senior. Has been a part of the team since 2019. In limited action that year, he appeared in just 6 games and played 153 minutes, but he did earn additional playing time heading into his sophomore season. Following the suspension of competition in 2020, he returned to the Dolphins in 2021 in an increased role that saw him appear in 8 games and make 3 starts. He nearly doubled his minutes played in 2021 as well, but the biggest highlight of his career would come earlier this season. Late in a tie game on the road against Alliance University, he sent a long strike off the far post and in for a game-winning goal. Not only did that goal give the Dolphins the win, but it was also the first of his CSI career. In addition to the highlight reel game-winning goal, he has seen another increase in playing time this season. He has played in a career-high 10 games entering action today and hopes to factor in down the stretch of the season as the Dolphins complete their playoff push. He departs the program with a cumulative GPA exceeding 3.1 and as the only 4-year player on the Dolphins roster. Our senior is number 12, Javier Campos. And as you can see on your screen, he is joined by his Dolphins teammates, the CSI captains, head coach Alex Kuba, assistant coach John Tardy, director of athletics and recreation Chase Licata, and director of compliance and our senior woman administrator Erin Van Nostrand. With that, we will send our senior day camera operator Pat Gilorenzo down to the sidelines to ball run during today's game. We appreciate his work on the camera during our senior day ceremony. And there you see it on your screens, our matchup this afternoon, the College of Staten Island taking on the Daemen University Wildcats. This game is a big one for the College of Staten Island. They have to win it to stay alive in the playoff conversation. The Dolphins need to win both of their remaining 2 games to have any chance to qualify for the playoffs. If they lose or draw, their season will end following their final game of the regular season against Queens on Saturday. If the Dolphins pick up the victory today, they will at the very least remain alive through Saturday. The rest of the conference will have played their games before the Dolphins take the pitch on Saturday night. The Dolphins will know when they face Queens on Saturday if they are going to have a chance to qualify for the playoffs with a win in that game. Ahead of CSI's matchup with Queens, Roberts Wesleyan will be taking on Mercy College. If Mercy College either wins or plays Roberts Wesleyan to a draw, the Dolphins will qualify for the playoffs with 2 wins. Once again, the Dolphins need 2 wins and a Roberts Wesleyan loss or draw against Mercy on Saturday. The Redhawks take on the Mavericks at approximately 2 p.m. on Saturday. The Dolphins will certainly have an eye on that game. They will know that result before they take the pitch. And if Mercy is able to defeat Roberts Wesleyan or force the tie, the Dolphins could be playing for a playoff spot on Saturday night in prime time. So be sure to catch that game on the ECC network. As for Dolphins senior Javier Campos, today will be the final game he plays on his home pitch for this Dolphins team. CSI would not have the opportunity to host a playoff game. They could only qualify as the 4 seed, so they cannot host. I'll have to take a moment to pull up the starting lineup for these 2 teams. I'll have to pull those from the live stats. I forgot to grab printouts on my way out of the room to my right, but I will get those from the live stats and pass them along to you in just a moment. First, for the College of Staten Island, Dolphins starting lineup in today's game. In goal, number 30, Amari Thompson. The rest of the Dolphins starters in numerical order. Number 4, Luis Asensio Cueva. Number 6, Mohamed Sow. Number 7, Daniel Angulo. Number 10, Shane Siegel. Number 11, Nicholas Kashenko. Number 16, Corey Alvarez. Number 17, Leandro Angulo. Number 18, Brendan McGuire. And number 25, Jamali Peterson. Final Dolphins starter, number 29, Stephen Flores. For the Wildcats, their starters in numerical order. Number 1, Marcos Lerma Escobar. Number 3, Sawan Rajamohan. Number 8, and I do apologize for butchering these pronunciations if I do. I have the guide, but I got the starters right before we got underway. So I'm going to have to take my time with these. Once again, I do apologize. Number 8, Alexander Kademi. Number 9, Dennis Montero Guerrero. Number 13, Pontus Lundin. Number 17, Christian Lewin. Number 20, Derek Bartlow. Number 22, Ajun Rajamohan. Number 23, Carlos Espana. Number 24, Mikkel Holscher. And number 26, Nassim Zahuani. Had to take my time there. A lot of difficult pronunciations in that Daemen University starting lineup, but I got through it, and hopefully we'll be able to do a much better job throughout the match. Typically, I will get better with that as the match goes along. But as I said, a huge match for the Dolphins here this afternoon against Daemen University. College of Staten Island comes in needing 2 wins to qualify for the playoffs. They do need some help on top of those 2 wins, but the Dolphins have to take care of business here this afternoon to have an opportunity against Queens heading into Saturday's game. These 2 teams have met just once before. The last game between these 2 sides was played 1 year ago on October 23rd of 2021. It was the Wildcats picking up the win in that match by a 1-0 final score. Once again, that meeting, the only meeting, I should say, between these 2 sides. We are just moments away from kickoff here at the College of Staten Island, and some numbers for these 2 teams. For the Dolphins, they continue to be led in goals by Nicholas Kashenko and Daniel Angulo. They both factored into the scoring in CSI's last game against UDC. Kashenko netted his 3rd goal of the season. Angulo dished out the assist. The Dolphins took a 1-0 lead at that point against the Firebirds. However, the Dolphins surrendered the equalizer with about 12 minutes to play in the second half, and they did not score again. Neither team would find the back of the net for a second time as the 2 teams finished tied at 1. Amari Thompson once again was solid in goal. He allowed just 1 score on Saturday against the Firebirds. He has been fantastic on his home turf all season long. Has a couple of clean sheets here at Dolphins Soccer Park, including a huge effort the last time we saw the Dolphins here at home in a scoreless tie against Mercy. As for the Wildcats, they are led in both goals and assists by Derek Bartlow. He has 7 goals and 4 assists on the season. And in net, Lerma Escobar has allowed just over a goal and a half per game, saving 78% of the shots that he has faced on the year. He stands between the Dolphins and a much-needed victory. And for the College of Staten Island, the issue for them in most of their defeats has been trouble scoring, lack of opportunities on the attack. It would be very interesting to see what the Dolphins would do if they secure a lead in this game. There was no video stream of CSI's last match on the road at UDC, but I would suspect that in that game, the Dolphins took the opportunity to play as many players back as they could leading by a goal, knowing that it was a must-win game and that with a victory, they would move one step closer to the postseason. Unfortunately for CSI, they did surrender the late equalizer, and now they're going to need some help in addition to a pair of wins in their last 2 contests. For the Wildcats, they entered today's action on the outside looking in the East Coast Conference with just a pair of wins and 7 points. The Wildcats are still alive for the postseason. Their only path to the playoffs is a pair of wins and a Roberts Wesleyan loss in their last match of the year. Once again, that match for the Red Hawks will be played against Mercy College. So Daemen still has plenty to play for in this game as well. 2 conference games left. They need 2 victories. They need a lot of help. But it certainly is possible that Roberts Wesleyan could lose their final match against Mercy. That's a game that absolutely could go either way. And we are underway here from Dolphins Soccer Park on a sunny Wednesday afternoon. College of Staten Island and Daemen University hoping to keep their seasons alive and their playoff hopes hang in the balance entering today's game. As Jamali Peterson was putting some pressure on in the corner, and the Wildcats were forced to clear. Dolphins will throw, and it looks like Peterson is going to try and step into this one. Long throw by Peterson. Center of the box, chipped in the air by Kashenko. Siegel sends it high into the sky, and waiting for it was Lerma Escobar. That ball sent long up the pitch. Flores makes first contact, and he drew a foul. Daemen's last game in conference play will be on Saturday against the University of the District of Columbia. Like I said, Daemen must have 2 victories. The Dolphins must also have 2 victories. Daemen needs Roberts Wesleyan to lose to have a chance. Dolphins theoretically could qualify with a Roberts Wesleyan tie. Now, it would be interesting to see who would get in between Daemen and Roberts Wesleyan should the Red Hawks tie in their last game. Taking a look at the Wildcats' schedule, they tied with Roberts Wesleyan at 1. So a Roberts Wesleyan draw and 2 Daemen wins would give both teams 13 points. As that ball sent long up to Siegel, he receives it cleanly and looked to move toward the center of the pitch, but a strong tackle there. I believe that was Bartlow on the tackle. Bartlow wearing the captain's armband for the Wildcats. For the Dolphins, So, Bronco, and Flores are the captains. That ball sent into the box, headed by So, and sent away by the Wildcats. That one sent back toward goal, and that forced Lerma Escobar to make a save. That shot came out of nowhere. CSI quickly registers their first shot on goal. We have a whistle along the far side. Throw in for the Wildcats, taken quickly. Kashenko did not allow Montero Guerrero to advance. And that's headed once again over the far side. Peterson will throw. He finds McGuire. McGuire trying to turn in toward the penalty area, takes it down toward the corner. McGuire got that ball through nearly. Was able to get it to Siegel. Good attempt there. As Leandro Angulo sends that one toward the far side. Once again sent toward goal. And waiting for it was Lerma Escobar. Asensio Cueva. Back to Flores. Flores for Kashenko. And back to Flores again. Asensio Cueva moves ahead into the midfield. Turns back in the other direction and finds Flores. Flores switches play toward the far side. Body down by Angulo. He has Kashenko, who has it taken away from him. Here come the Wildcats back the other way into the attacking third. This is Espana who lost it. That rolls toward the end line. Goal kick, Staten Island. For us here on CSI Sportsnet, this will be our final soccer broadcast of the 2022 season. We got started with men's soccer in late August, and we'll conclude with men's soccer here in the second to last week of October. Ball pinballing around in the midfield. And it winds up all the way back at the top of the penalty area for the Wildcats as they get reset. Joining Derek Bartlow as one of the Wildcats' captains is Pontus Lundin. Trying to get a look and see if there's a third captain for Daemen. Staten Island with 3. Looks like just 2 for the Wildcats out there on the pitch right now. CSI will throw in from the far side. And it is indeed just 2 captains. Those are also listed on the official Daemen College roster. Peterson gets tangled up down in the corner. Now, looks like the foul did go against Peterson there. Ball back with the backers of Daemen University. They look to move forward into the midfield. Had to pause there. I thought I saw the number of a player who we don't have in the game on my official roster. I'll have to double check that. Along that far side in that tangle up. And that was Kademi who got tied up with Peterson. I misread the number from a distance. Thought it may have been 6. It was 8. As Siegel moves toward the center of the pitch, he has Alvarez. Peterson open. Peterson moving in. He has room. Peterson shoots, and that is saved by the boot. Lerma Escobar didn't have to move. Good early opportunity for the Dolphins, and we may get a second look at it here as we had a whistle stopping play. What I presume was a free kick was taken immediately. As has been the case all year, I've been doubling as play-by-play and engineer. That will change come basketball. Cross, well wide of the far post. Travels all the way down into the corner. Angulo, strong tackle, knocks it away. And the Wildcats will throw in. Here's a quick look at that last shot attempt and the ensuing save by Marcos Lerma Escobar. First shot on goal for the Wildcats. As we are just over 7.5 minutes into the first half. That ball rolls down toward the penalty area. It's sent away by Lerma Escobar. Asensio Cueva will let it go, and he will throw in quickly. That ball just a bit too soft for Siegel, who is unable to keep it in. Awfully close. Good effort by Siegel, first to knock it down with the body and then to try and keep it in. Throw for the Wildcats. Throw-in was redirected by Zahuani, and foul goes against the Dolphins. He got tied up with So. Kademi sporting a big cast on the left hand down the pitch. You can see him along the far side, much like what we saw Nicholas Kashenko sporting last year. As that ball is sent well wide of the frame and out of play. Kashenko still sporting a brace on that left wrist. But he had that massive cast, much like Kademi last year. Dolphins moving through the midfield with some speed. McGuire got it to Siegel. Alvarez looking to shoot. He puts one on goal. It's saved. Siegel on the rebound is offsides. That draws a round of applause from the fanatics here at Dolphins Soccer Park. They liked what they saw in that attacking play. And we'll get a look at it from start to finish right here. Play got started along the far side, right on the edge of the midfield, and the Dolphins moved forward quickly. They almost lost it here. Siegel barely got a piece, but he was able to direct it over to Alvarez, who had his shot saved, and then Siegel on the rebound was ruled offsides. Good early pressure being applied here by the Dolphins. That's headed by Asensio Cueva, and then a second time by Angulo. Alvarez for So. Up to Peterson. Peterson turns. He's moving ahead. He has a step. And that was a very good tackle along that far side. Tough to get a number from up here, but a strong challenge as the Wildcats look to counter. And the Dolphins do get it back. Here comes Siegel. McGuire is offsides. Play continues, so apparently not. The flag went up. And I guess McGuire was able to recover and get back as the lines judge emphatically threw the flag up and then changed his mind. So knocks that away over the near side. Wildcats will throw. Roger Mohan threw it in. And very quickly, Daemen moves up the pitch in the other direction. Lewin sends it toward the far side. That pass was broken up. That strong tackle was made by Sajan Rajamohan earlier along the far side. Tough to get his number, but I was just able to spot it as he made his way up the pitch on that attacking play. Wildcats have it in their own end once again. Moving it east to west here, taking their time. Dolphins have been a lot less methodical. It's been a very aggressive approach from the Dolphins early in this match on the attack. Daemen's had a tough time getting through the midfield. The Dolphins have done a good job there. It's Peterson, back to Angulo. Kishenko. I'm not sure what they're doing next door, but they're having a grand old time there. Looks like the stats booth may have been invaded by some insects. Sal swatting away with his notepad. Got to take care of those windows as that ball is cleared right off of the light tower along the far side. Throw in Staten Island. Wildcats take it into the midfield. That ball sent down toward the corner. Will it stay in? It will not. Dolphins throw. So. Over to Asensio Cueva. Back to So. Tight window as he finds Alvarez. Good looking pass there. Asensio Cueva for Siegel. Redirects to So. He has Angulo. And the Dolphins moving forward nicely here. Here comes Angulo. He winds up, he shoots, and it's off the post. What a strike by Daniel Angulo, as he nearly put a dent in that post, and the Dolphins very nearly took a one-goal lead. We will get a second look at that at the next opportunity. And the Dolphins are off to a very strong start here in the first half. 3 shots on goal. And that one was awfully close to being number 4. Ball bounces away from the penalty area. Bartlow tracks it down. McGuire applying pressure. They keep it away from him. And as the Wildcats move it along their back line, we'll get another look at that last shot by Angulo. At least I hoped we would. I don't see the replay coming up on our screen, so looks like we're getting a look at it now. There it is, as that one collides with the bar. I should say the post. That was some shot by Daniel Angulo. It's going to be a free kick here for the Wildcats. That's sent toward goal, headed away by So, and cleared out of danger by the Dolphins. Rajamoan toward the top of the box, headed away by Angulo. Headed back toward the box and finds the foot of Siegel. He's moving up the near side. Siegel for Alvarez. Alvarez turns. Gives it back to Siegel. Siegel toward the top of the box. That was headed away by Rajamoan. Angulo tracks it down on the edge of the midfield. Wants Peterson. Too much on that pass. Goal kick Wildcats, as we are now nearing 16 minutes gone by in this first half. And we saw that chase as our director of athletics, Chase Licata, tried to send that ball outside the frame, nearly sent it onto the pitch. My accuracy no better. As Alvarez looks to move in, Alvarez makes a man miss, but could not beat the keeper, Lerma Escobar. Big stop there by the Wildcats goalkeeper. And the Dolphins nearly had a chance. Alvarez possibly could have shot it, but you can't blame him for trying to get by in that spot. There was a lot of traffic, and Lerma Escobar was up to the task. Now a chance developing here for the Wildcats. They come back the other way. Kashenko there for CSI, and he makes a nice defensive play. Kashenko, not one who concedes much ground defensively. We've seen that on more than one occasion this year. Tough to take the ball from him, and tough to advance on the attack against him. Has a lot of length as well at 6'4". By far is the most size of any of the Dolphins' backers. Angulo wanted So. Two players collide over the ball. And we have a foul against the Dolphins. 27.5 minutes to go in this first half. Free kick Wildcats just inside of midfield. The last one traveled just wide of the dot along the far post. They choose to play this one short. That's sent into the box, and fortunately for the Dolphins, Angulo got ahead on it. Now Siegel tried to get it to Angulo. He's taken down, regains his footing, has it knocked away once again. Good ball for Bartlow. Bartlow met by Flores, and Flores with a good, strong tackle there knocked the ball away, but the Dolphins cannot carry it away from their penalty area as that shot sails well wide. Flores. Back to Thompson. Now Kashenko. We saw that too, Pat, as our ball runner, Pat Lorenzo, tried to roll the ball out to the outside of the frame. Here comes Peterson. Peterson looked to cross, could not, and it's cleared away. Angulo goes down along the far side, and the Dolphins will throw. Peterson will throw here. He often looks to take a step or two into the throw-ins. He takes more than just a couple. As that throw travels into the box, Kushenko got a foot on it. He keeps it in play. Kushenko crosses. Nobody home for the Dolphins. Nothing but blue jerseys in the area. And here come the Wildcats back the other way. Dennis Montero Guerrero is chasing after that one. But Angulo and Flores were both there. We're nearing 20 minutes in this first half. Still no score between the Dolphins and the Wildcats. Substitution incoming for Daemen University here. And they'll make that change right now, ahead of this free kick. Zahuani set to take this free kick. He sends it near post. Thompson didn't handle it cleanly, but dives back on top of it. And that was a dangerous play, as Thompson may have taken a knee to the face. And we hope he's okay, but it sure looked like he took a knee to the face there. And they'll give him all the time he needs. But we'll get a second look at how it happened following that free kick. Thompson back to his feet. He appears okay. Here's a second look at it. There you see the initial ball off of his gloves, and when he dove down on top of it, the knee of the attacker hit him right in the face. There comes Alvarez. Angulo. Back to Alvarez. Now Angulo again, as the Dolphins are forced to retreat into the midfield. So, back to Kushenko. Now Flores takes a step forward. Has Peterson. And Peterson was trying to redirect for Alvarez. Miscommunication there between the two Dolphins. As the Wildcats now look to bring it into the attacking third. Montero Guerrero ran out of room along the near side, but it looked like he was able to keep it in at the last moment. Thought for sure he wouldn't be able to get there. As McGuire just got a piece, waiting for it's Alvarez. He chips it in the air for Siegel. Siegel down to the corner. He squares up, looked to cross, it was blocked. That's headed into a dangerous spot where Peterson tracks it down. Peterson may have had it knocked away, we'll see, and it is going to be a Dolphins throw. CSI keeps possession on the throw deep in the attacking third. They will throw this from just about a yard away from the corner, if that. And the Dolphins will now have a chance to make something happen off a throw-in. Peterson throws. That's sent right back into the midfield by the Wildcats. A lot of blue jerseys moving forward toward Flores as he finds Kushenko with a nice ball. It's headed away. Kushenko gives chase down in the corner. And Kushenko lets it roll. The Dolphins will throw again. Looks like Peterson is going to jog over to throw this one. Steven Bronco will enter the game, and Peterson will instead jog off toward the bench. Leandro Angulo will throw. We approach 21 minutes to play in this first half. Dolphins will throw. It's chipped in the air and cleared away by the Wildcats. Siegel there waiting. He shoots with the left foot, and it's just wide. Siegel trying to claim it was tipped to no avail. And it's going to be a Wildcats goal kick, but what a chance off the foot of Shane Siegel. The Wildcats looked to clear and were not successful. And Siegel nearly took advantage. Here's a second look at that last attempt by Siegel. Here you see the clearance, and then Siegel had a lot of room, didn't miss by much. Just over 20 minutes to play in half number one. As that throw is headed into the air by the Wildcats, the Dolphins will try again. Another attempt on the throw. McGuire has Bronco. Bronco moves in, left-footed shot blocked. And so went down as he tried to get a foot on that through traffic. He recovered very quickly there. Siegel shielded off the ball by Bartlow. I believe it's going to be a Wildcats throw in here deep in the corner as they chase that ball down. Bartlow will bring it forward a bit, and he will throw. Throw headed in the air by Asensio Cueva, and then again by Alvarez, who goes down. Yellow card immediately shown without hesitation. That was Ajun Rajamohan who picked up the yellow. Daniel Angulo lined up to take this free kick, and we've seen how dangerous his free kick attempts can be. You know, the Wildcats would love to make contact with this one on the wall. They're going to lend four to the wall. Position not far inside the top of the penalty area. Asensio Cueva also stands over the ball with Angulo. And Angulo sends a bending ball just wide of the far post. Danny a bit frustrated with himself after that one. You can see his reaction after that shot traveled wide. Wildcats facing some pressure here in the penalty area. And they're forced into a giveaway as the Dolphins will throw. There was really nowhere else to go with that ball except in the air across the pitch. That's what they did, and there was too much on it. So got a foot on that one. Alvarez to Angulo. Nice pass with the heel. Here comes Siegel. Siegel moves in, and his shot is off the outside of the frame. Another good opportunity for Siegel. He's been right in the middle of multiple scoring chances in this game. That all started with the giveaway by the Wildcats. The Dolphins were awarded the throw. There you see a nice backheel pass by Angulo. Alvarez was dispossessed from behind, but Siegel was waiting right there. Asensio Cueva does well to keep that in. And Siegel sent that header off a Wildcat. The Dolphins will throw. Flores retreats toward his own goal. Now Kishenko. Back to Flores. 3 shots on goal for the Dolphins here. No shots on goal, no corner kicks for the Wildcats. Here comes Flores into the midfield. Long ball up ahead to Asensio Cueva. He's giving chase. And that one is headed for the road. And that will roll into the woods. I don't envy Stephanie in this spot, as she will give chase. And hopefully someone steps up to help along the near side. It's going to be a corner kick here for the Dolphins. So that will provide a break in the action. Asensio Cueva crosses. Cleared away. Angulo for Flores. Flores for Alvarez. The Dolphins being forced to retreat now as that finds the foot of Thompson. He got it away. Kashenko redirected, but Bronco wasn't ready. Players battling along the far side. And the Wildcats did come away with it for a moment. Flores heads that ball. Man down for the Wildcats. That did not look like much at all. Perhaps Lewin took a shot to the shin, but at the other end, the Dolphins are moving ahead on the attack. So could not get it to McGuire. Alvarez to McGuire to So. Great passing there by the Dolphins. Good cross headed by Siegel, but not on target. He couldn't square up as that's sent wide of the far post. So is right there waiting. He sends it back in front, and that is cleared away by Rajamohan. Alvarez back to Angulo. Now Alvarez, who has a seam. He was able to get a foot on it, but the Wildcats do clear. Lewin into the midfield. Barely got it to Espana. Moving up the far side is Zahuani. He gave it up. Got it back and sent it right back to Espana. Zahuani gets tangled up with Angulo. And Angulo was whistled for a foul. Free kick Wildcats just inside of 14 minutes to play here in the second half. We'll see what Daemen can do with the set piece. They haven't spent much time down at this end of the pitch. Dolphins have had some quality chances early, 2 of those belonging to Shane Siegel. Neither of those was on goal. Looks like it's going to be Zahuani to take this free kick. He sends it near post. Thompson has it. It should go down as Thompson's first save. We'll see. Kashenko for So. And right back to Kashenko again. Angulo for So. Flores to Siegel. Back to Alvarez. He's dispossessed, but So was there to back it up. Good dribbling there by So. That drew some oohs and ahs from the crowd as McGuire makes a run, but he's out of room. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Wildcats. A pair of substitutions coming on. Campos, Dolphins' lone senior, enters the game for the College of Staten Island. We spoke about him during pregame.
Number 4, Iman Wajed, subbing in for number 17, Christian Lewin. Substitution for CSI, number 12.
Eamon Wajed checks in.
He subbed in for number 10, Shane Siegel.
Those substitutions coming over public address as well. Wajed in for the Wildcats. Campos in for the Dolphins on this senior day. Campos hoping that his season does not end after Saturday. Just over 11 and a half minutes to play in this first half. Still no score. The Dolphins' season ends with either a loss or a draw. The Dolphins have had many chances, and the way they've been playing, it looks like they're going to get several more. Alvarez back to Campos. Campos moves toward the center of the pitch. Gets it to Kashenko. Kashenko moving forward with some speed. Kashenko powers through. And Kashenko nearly took down the net behind the goal. He had a lot on that shot. That attempt may have even rivaled the attempt by Angulo off the post.
He subs in for number 18, Brendan McGuire.
We'll get a look at that last attempt by Kishenko. There you see him in the upper left corner of your screen moving in. And that shot went into orbit up over the Wildcats' goal. Flores has it for Staten Island. He sends it a long way up the pitch. Bartlow heads it to his keeper. And Lerma Escobar has it. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Lerma Escobar got it up ahead to Lundin. Lundin gave it up quickly. And Lerma Escobar has it back. Roger Moen right back to Lerma Escobar. Wildcats continue to play very methodically. They need a win just as badly as this Dolphins team, as once again the CSI pressure forces Daemen to clear it over the sideline, or at the very least to cough it up. Codicelli couldn't keep it in. We await a goal kick for Daemen University. 9 minutes remaining in the first half. The Wildcats still without a shot on goal. Thought that free kick attempt might have been close. They were not credited with a shot on goal there. Goal kick. Sent out across midfield. Headed by Alvarez. Campos. Toward Codicelli. Codicelli had the angle for a moment and had it knocked away. Throw in for the Wildcats. And we now have 8.5 to play in the first half. That one's sent forward with the heel. And now Daemen's in business. Making a run is Espana down toward the corner. And Flores made sure he couldn't get there. Espana wanted a foul. The clock has been stopped. And he is shown a yellow. We'll see if we can get a second look at it. Down in the corner. Well, it's going to be very tough to see, but we'll get you a second look. May have only caught the tail end of it. We'll wind it back and check one more time. There's a better look. Looked like he was taken out by the flag. .7:40 to play. Wildcats have it along their back line. Codicelli got there. And the Dolphins earn a throw. Angulo throws quickly to Bronco. It was knocked away from Bronco. Kishenko lets it roll over the far side. It'll be another throw. And we have a player down. Clock has been stopped at 7:19. So we'll change our time to reflect that. And when play resumes, we'll have 7:19 on the clock here in the first half. And play resumes quickly. Campos had it knocked away from him. He throws toward the box. Bronco. For Alvarez. Alvarez has a lot of room. So does Angulo. Angulo shoots, and it's off the crossbar. Leandro Angulo with a powerful strike. And for the second time in this game, and Angulo has connected with iron. First Daniel off the post, and then Leandro off the bar. And you just got the sense that a Dolphin was going to shoot it. The only question was who it was going to be. They were given a lot of room. Alvarez passed it up, and Angulo did not. Great attempt by the Dolphins' backer. Cotticelli heads that ball forward. Bronco didn't get there in time, but the Dolphins will throw. Bronco got tied up for a moment, and the Wildcats take possession. Risky pass. Alvarez got there, but if anything, he helped the Wildcats out, directing that ball forward. Heads up play there by Leandro Angulo. He just stopped. Nearly got run over in his effort to keep the attacker off the ball. That was Wajed. Under 5.5 to play in the first half. That ball sent to the far side. Waiting for it was Holscher. Angulo goes down. Play continues. Ball sent back toward the Wildcats' goal. Lerma Escobar was there waiting. Rajamoen, long ball up the pitch. And Thompson's got it. Thompson rolls it ahead to Flores. Flores up to So. Back to Thompson. Kishenko. Over to Flores again. Wildcats closing in here. Thompson nearly turned it over straight into a shot opportunity. But he was ready and got it back. Fortunately so for the Dolphins. As we saw in our early game, the women's soccer match, all it takes is one costly giveaway in your own penalty area, and you can fall behind. Fortunately for the Wildcats, the Dolphins did not capitalize when they were given a chance right in front of the Daemen goal. Rajamoen back to Lerma Escobar. Alvarez was closing in. It's sent far up the pitch. And here come the Wildcats. Montero Guerrero sees his pass travel off target. And Angulo with a strong tackle. Took it away from Espana. And we have quite the tie-up as Angulo is shown the yellow. Now, I'm not sure if Angulo got the yellow there for the contact or if he got the yellow for stepping over Espana. We'll get a second look. Looked like on the replay that I'm looking at, Angulo may have been pushed first. Here's a second look. And there you see it. Angulo steps over him, and there's no need for that. If he wasn't going to be carded before that, that might have done it. Kishenko heads one on goal, and that's saved. So, unfortunately, our automated camera didn't pick it up. But Nicholas Kishenko headed that one right on goal. And there is certainly a recalibration in order for our huddle focus in the offseason. For some reason, it doesn't like to follow the action all the way to the goal. That ball sent up ahead towards Montero Guerrero. Two Dolphins were there. It's sent away by CSI. Angulo got it to So. Less than 3 minutes to play here in this first half. So many chances for the Dolphins. 4 shots on goal officially. 2 more that hit the post and the crossbar. Here comes Kishenko, moving ahead with some speed again. He stops, surveys, has room, and now has Angulo. Angulo crosses. He has Bronco. Bronco shot is high. Bronco tried to put that shot on goal off the volley.
Coming in for the Wildcats, number 12, Chris Cox. subject for number 9, Dennis Montero Guerrero. Subbing in for CSI, number 9, Yusef Dardir.
Yusef Dardir will check in for the Dolphins. Ball travels into the stands on the near side. It's thrown in quickly by the Dolphins. Under 90 seconds to play in this first half. Kishenko. Up the pitch. It's headed away. Alvarez. Had that ball intercepted. But the Dolphins have it back. Bronco for Angulo. 1 minute to play in the half. Angulo looked to send that one through traffic. Very tight window. Dardir got the body on it. He's looking to turn back in the other direction, and that pass is off the mark. Throw in. A long one by the Wildcats with less than 30 seconds to play. This is So. So sent that one off of Alvarez. Now Angulo. Looked to play it into the box. It was knocked down. Codicelli has another chance. Cross. Headed wide. Well wide as it rolls down toward the corner. Asensio Cueva did not keep it in. And that will do it for the first half. We'll get one more look at that last attempt. I don't know if it was So who got ahead on it or perhaps a Wildcat. I do believe it was So. But this is how the half ended. And we will slow it down for a second look right here. Off of the cross from that far side corner. That ball either contacted So or a Wildcat. Nonetheless, the Dolphins with a good opportunity to end the first half, but that was not enough to get up on the board. And through the first 45 minutes, we have no score between the Dolphins and the Wildcats. This is CSI Sportsnet coverage of East Coast Conference men's soccer. We are at the half, no score between the Dolphins and Wildcats. When we come back following this halftime break, the second half in this late season conference matchup.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
You Know I'm Right is the podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, entertainment, and pop culture. On the show, hosts Nick and Joe walk guests through the retelling of their humble beginnings, covering an array of topics from specific interests and hobbies to personal opinions regarding each facet of their industry. You Know I'm Right offers insight on how to adapt and advance, and offers alternative advice as opposed to a one-size-fits-all strategy. Above all else, the number one goal of You Know I'm Right is to offer listeners an exclusive behind-the-scenes vantage point not found anywhere else through its increasing list of professional connections. With a following that continues to grow daily, You Know I'm Right is transforming into a must-listen podcast in the right place at the right time. Find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You do not want to miss an episode of You Know I'm
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And we are back from Dolphin Soccer Park on the campus of the College of Staten Island for the final 45 minutes of the Dolphin season here at home. This will be their final home match of the year against Daemen University, and the Dolphins are looking to make it an early opportunity to open up the second half, but that finds its way to the keeper. And Lerma Escobar handles it cleanly. The Dolphins had plenty of opportunities to score in the first half, played very well on the attack, and unfortunately for them, that has not yet yielded a goal. Dolphins and Wildcats still knotted in a scoreless tie. Both of these teams need a win. If they draw, both of their seasons would end today. So, a draw is mutually destructive. As a Raiders fan, I'll never forget what happened last year where a draw was mutually constructive for the Raiders and the Chargers. But we'll talk more about that later. Here comes Asensio Cueva. That sent it to the box. Henry Carino got a head on it. And waiting for it were the Wildcats, so that does find its way back to Lerma Escobar. As I was saying, last year, the Raiders and Chargers played in Week 17, where a draw would send both teams to the playoffs. The Chargers inexplicably began using their timeouts at the end of the game when the Raiders were content to allow the draw, and then the Chargers ended up losing the game and missing the playoffs. So I'm sure both of these teams are well aware of the circumstances surrounding this game where they both need to win. And we may see some things that are a bit out of the ordinary late in this game if neither team has scored a goal. So sends one wide of the frame. Be curious to see which team is first to begin making moves toward perhaps lending more players to the attack, perhaps taking some extra chances. Still plenty of time left in this game, and one goal could change quite a bit for either team. As we have a whistle, and the Wildcats will throw here, but as I said, both teams need to win, and to do that, they will have to score. No goals through the first 45 minutes, all 4 shots on goal belonging to the Dolphins. Both corner kicks belong to the Dolphins. And the Dolphins possess it here off of this throw-in. Alvarez Rivera first to get a foot on it. That rolls down toward the corner. It's sent off of Siegel. And that's going to be a Wildcats goal kick. Lerma Escobar to take this goal kick. He plays it short. Whistle blows. And apparently that was taken too quickly for the head official's taste. They'll play it short again. That's sent well beyond midfield. Munoz giving chase. He battles Angulo. Munoz kept it in. Angulo sent it off of Munoz. It's still in. And that's a foul against Munoz. Make that a throw-in, as the head official said that traveled over the touchline. Throw was the signal. That was knocked away from Munoz. He wanted a foul, didn't get it. That's sent toward Cotticelli. Not much room to get it to him. Chris Cox sends one wide of goal. Thompson comes out to get it. Flores for Siegel. It's going to be a Dolphins throw. CSI will throw from right in front of their own bench here. Asensio Cueva will take it. He sends one into the midfield. And that was off of a Wildcat once again. Asensio Cueva to throw for a second time. Carino looked to turn. And there was a foul called there against the Wildcats. Looked like Carino still had possession. No advantage. Free kick Dolphins. Angulo once again sets up to take it. This one from much further out than his last. That's sent toward the center of the box, knocked away by the Wildcats. Zahuani up ahead. That's Espana far side. Flores sends it skyward. Angulo got a foot on it. He's battling with Zahuani. Asensio Cueva joined the fray. Throw in Wildcats. Lerma Escobar. Played it ahead. That pass was quickly intercepted by the Dolphins. That could have been trouble. Holscher was involved in that last play. He initially gave it away, but came back to win the Wildcats a throw-in. Espana sent that one back to Lundin, far side. Roger Moen gets it back. Here comes Carino again, and Lerma Escobar sends a bomb well beyond midfield, headed by Flores. It was headed a second time by Munoz. Now Kashenko's got it. Asensio Cueva had it knocked away. He went down. It's going to be a Dolphins throw. Throw is headed back toward the center of the pitch. Munoz redirects. Siegel got a foot on it. Possession stays with Daemen. Zahuani sent it over the far side. Throw short from Munoz. That's sent toward the top of the box, headed by Espana. We have a whistle, and I think they're going to get Espana for a foul. Neither team able to get a quality shot off yet. Shot tally has not changed here in the second half. And there's a big takeaway for the Wildcats. They have Thompson backpedaling, and that's a poor pass. Kashenko read it well. Kashenko for Angulo. A lot of room here for the Dolphins on the counter. Kashenko making a run. He's open. And Angulo didn't look that way as he's taken down. Yellow card will be shown. I believe that was Holscher who was shown the yellow. Perhaps that may have been Bartlow as the clock is stopped. And we'll see who officially receives this yellow. There were a couple of Wildcats in the area. Clock has been stopped at 37:08. Yellow card not yet officially assessed. Free kick Staten Island from a very dangerous spot. Siegel and Angulo both lined up over the ball. Angulo will shoot, and that's saved. Angulo has already sent a shot off the post. A free kick shot attempt just wide of the post. And that's officially his first shot on goal. Long ball into the midfield, bodied down by Asensio Cueva and sent into the air. It's headed back the other way. Espana look to play it toward the center of the pitch. And the Dolphins get it back. Here comes Siegel. Siegel moving forward into the attacking third. He has So. So works back. Met by a pair of defenders. Alvarez Rivera gets tangled up. Now So. So for Codicelli, the Wildcats got a piece. Codicelli across the goal mouth. And it was broken up on the pass attempt. Codicelli moves back in toward the end line. Nice play defensively there by Holscher. Angulo comes over to help. He's tossed down. Angulo continuing to jab at that ball with his feet while he was down on the turf. And the Wildcats cleared away. Flores. Far side for Siegel. It's headed away. And played back to Roger Moen, who sends it long. That ball will bounce out of play. Ball headed by the Wildcats off the Dolphins' throw. Daemen looks to move forward on the attack. And they will. So there's some space here along the near side. Lundin met by So. Lundin lost it. Dolphins now have a chance. Heading back the other way, Angulo for Carino. Carino. Got a good bounce there as Angulo came up with it. He is dispossessed by Lundin. Now the Wildcats move ahead. Zahuani Strong tackle by Flores. And now the Dolphins will look to counter. Codicelli moving toward the center of the pitch. That was sent in the air by Roger Moen with the heel. Now Codicelli toward goal and just high. Dennis Codicelli made a bid to break the scoreless tie and couldn't do it, as that was just over the crossbar. Codicelli has very often found himself involved in scoring chances. Always active when he's out there on the pitch, whether it's crossing into a scoring chance or attempting a shot himself. He's typically very busy. It's going to be a Dolphins throw in front of their own bench. It's sent into the midfield. So, looking for Codicelli. He's onside. Codicelli has space, and his shot is blocked. That extra second he took to gather cost him that shooting lane. Still a good effort. Corner kick, Staten Island here. 12 minutes gone by here in the second half. Both teams need a goal to keep their season alive. More specifically, both teams need a win. That's sent toward the center of the box, and two Wildcats collide. Angulo whiffed on that attempt to put it toward goal, and now the Wildcats head the other way. And Wajed was fouled. Not a bad foul at all, though, committed by the Dolphins. I believe it was Flores who took the foul, but that slows down that attacking play. Zahuani will take this free kick. Wildcats lined up wide of the far post here. This is sent in that direction. Header on goal is in! And the Wildcats are on the board first as they break the scoreless tie off of the free kick. And on the header, Daemen takes the 1-goal lead. Thompson never had a chance. As that one is put right past him, we will get a second look at it on replay. And that is a huge goal for the Wildcats, as they may elect to try and park the bus here and secure this victory. Still plenty of time, just inside of 32 minutes to play in the second half. Here's a second look at the goal. And it looks like that was one of the captains. The roster was just taken. Goal scored by Derek Bartlow, and the assist by Zahuani. So Bartlow, the leading goal scorer for the Wildcats, comes up huge in what is effectively a playoff game for Daemen. They had to win to keep their season alive, and they have done just that. Dolphins now have a lot of work to do. They need to score twice. It was a 1-0 victory for Daemen last year, and you could see the Dolphins, following that last goal, had just two players back defensively, Flores and Kashenko. That will change on this throw-in, assuming, of course, that it is a throw-in. We may have had a foul along the far side, and it will be a throw. But the Dolphins now will be forced to try and make something happen quickly. And once again, this ball rolling into the center of the pitch. The Wildcats making no effort whatsoever to stop it. Every second is precious now for this Dolphins team. going to be a free kick for the Wildcats here with 30 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock in the second half. Just moments ago, it was a free kick that led to the first Daemen goal. That's sent toward the middle of the box, and Thompson shaking out his right hand. Looked like he may have jammed a finger or somehow hurt himself on that stop. That's over the head of Alvarez Rivera and sent a mile high. So got ahead on it. Now Alvarez Rivera has it again. So, for Asensio Cueva, it's taken away. Wildcats have it. Dolphins really applying the pressure here, and they don't have much of a choice. They do force the turnover. So is this possessed, and now the Wildcats head back the other way. 5-on-4, numbers favoring the Dolphins here. But that's a good ball up the far side, and that one is not a good ball as it's sent out of play. Jamali Peterson back into the game for the Dolphins. He replaces Shane Siegel.
Coming in for the Dolphins, number 25, Jamali Peterson. He comes in for number 10, Shane Siegel.
Flores sent it up into the air. It landed just outside of the midfield circle. Now Alvarez Rivera stops, finds Angulo. Angulo near side. Cotticelli surveys, and he wanted Angulo. Not a bad idea there on the through ball. Couldn't get it to him. That goal, scored by Derek Bartlow, was number 8 on the season. He now has 20 points as that's sent away by Lerma Escobar. The assist by Nassim Zahuani was his 3rd. He now has 7 points on the season. Certainly no bigger goals scored by this Wildcats team this year, and they'll look for more in this spot. That was a no-look ball down into the corner. Kept in, right along the touchline. And whiffing on the header was Bartlow. At least I believe that was him. Could be mistaken. And it was. Lundin over to Nahuani. Kashenko knocks that ball down. Bartlow, now Angulo, and Alvarez Rivera for Peterson. Nothing doing there. Dolphins are really giving everything they have on the press right now. Lerma Escobar barely got that one away. Bartlow. The far side. Moving in is Wajed. And he's out of room. Goal kick Staten Island. Dolphins substitutions coming on. Stephen Bronco into the game. I believe he's being joined by Joseph Lopez, and that is Lopez. Bronco and Lopez on with 26:30 to play. Dolphins still need 2 goals. Flores for So. So immediately being challenged. Got it to Kashenko. Kashenko.
Coming in for the Wildcats, number 17, Christian Lewin. He comes in for number 26, Nassim Zahoui.
We had Wildcat substitutions as well.
Coming in for the Dolphins, number 22, Joseph Lopez.
We'll get those from the live stats as the Dolphin changes are announced. That ball rolls down toward the corner and out of play. Christian Lewin into the game for Daemen, replacing Nassim Zahuani. 25 and a half minutes to go from Dolphin Soccer Park. And with each passing second, this home crowd gets a bit more restless. Do apologize as we get our scoreboard updated. It is 1-0 Wildcats with 25 minutes to go in the second half. As I mentioned during the women's game, typically our scoreboard here on the broadcast is synced with the venue, but our internet is not cooperating today, so I've been operating it by hand throughout the afternoon. And McGuire was hoping to get the Dolphins up onto the scoreboard for the first time. He cannot. Throw in Wildcats along the near side. Roger Moen threw it long. There were no Wildcats there. This is Angulo. Alvarez Rivera back to Flores. Flores for So. Now Kashenko. Kashenko looking for somewhere to go with it. He moves in. Kashenko still has it. Good dribbling by Kashenko and a strong challenge as the Wildcats take it away. Alvarez Rivera with a strong tackle of his own to slow things down. Play continues. Dolphins possess it. And there's an emphatic clearance by Roger Moen. He'd seen enough. No downside to that with the lead if you're Daemen. Force the Dolphins to go the length of the pitch as many times as you can. And once again, Roger Moen will clear. The approach for the Wildcats right now is very clear. Keep the ball out of your own end and prevent shots at all costs. Dolphins need at least 2 goals to keep their season alive, but if you're the Wildcats and you allow 1 goal, a draw ends your season. That ball sent up the far side. And Flores couldn't get to it, but the Dolphins will throw. CSI substitution. Dolphins will throw when play resumes. And that will be right now, as Peterson got tangled up in the midfield, and they are going to get him for a jersey tug.
Subbing in for the Dolphins, number 15, Roberto Joffrey.
And the Wildcats have just scored again, and their bench is going wild. I had to pass a message next door, but the Wildcats are in a frenzy right now as they celebrate their second goal of this match, and that is a big one, as it may very well send Daemen to the playoffs. And if I'm not mistaken, that goal was scored just moments after Trey Basalia entered the game. And if that was indeed Basalia, that was his. I have to double check the goal tally, but for Basalia, he was in the game for no less than a couple of seconds. And that would be his first goal of the season. And that was Basalia.
Assisted by number 22, Ajun Rajamahan.
Well, you caught the goal live. I was in the room next door as the Dolphins are on the board. What a back and forth game this has been. All of a sudden, CSI comes to life, and they have cut the Wildcats' lead in half. I can't keep up with the action. Wildcats 2, Dolphins 1. 21:51 to play. Here in the second half, the Dolphins would need 3 unanswered to win it. But now the pressure is right back on the Wildcats. They can't afford a draw. Nicholas Kashenko, the goal scorer for CSI.
Number 15, Roberto Joffrey, and number 25, Jamali Peterson on the assist.
Joffrey and Peterson on the assists, and the Dolphins are back to within one. Basalia. And it was taken away by the Dolphins, who look to move forward with some speed. Here comes Bronco. Bronco being told to switch play. He elected not to. Angulo will track it down. Angulo into the penalty area. Kashenko, the nearest Dolphin. A collision in the box. And Daemen comes away with it. Here come the Wildcats back the other way as they play it up the far sideline. Bronco commits the foul as he came in with a strong challenge. 20 minutes and 35 seconds remaining from Dolphin Soccer Park. Free kick upcoming for Daemen University. They cannot afford to give up a goal in this spot. A draw would end their season. Free kick is blocked. And the Dolphins will look to make something of that blocked free kick. Peterson continues to fight. Peterson's got it. Peterson down toward the end line, wanted to cross, and I think he sent that one off of a man, but the lines judge says no. Peterson adamantly disagreeing. That's not all too surprising, as the Wildcats will make a substitution here.
Substitution for the Wildcats. Number 14, Marcelo Astudillo subbing in. He comes in for number 7, Hilario Munoz.
Marcelo Astudillo checks into the game for the Wildcats. Clock continues to wind down toward 19 minutes. 2 goals were scored in a matter of seconds. First, it was Busalia who scored, as McGuire looked to get that over to Kashenko, and the foul goes against McGuire. Dolphins did not like the call. Player remains down for the Wildcats. Clock has been stopped at 18:39. I believe that was Lewin who went down after coming together with McGuire. 2 of them both struck at that ball at the same time. It's going to be a free kick for Daemen here. That free kick sent a long way, headed by Asensio Cueva, body down by Angulo. He has Joffrey. Joffrey toward McGuire, and I'm not sure the Wildcats knew McGuire was there. He does a good job to get to that ball. Now Bronco looking for Peterson. Peterson plays it with the body, waits for it to come down. He's got it. Now Joffrey again. Joffrey back to Flores. Flores toward the far sideline. Over to McGuire. Bronco just got a piece. Asensio Cueva for Angulo. Angulo is dispossessed along the midfield stripe. And Busalia nearly had a chance there. And there's a takeaway by Astudillo. Could not keep that momentum moving forward. Fortunately so for the Dolphins. Ball now in the midfield. It's taken by Lopez. He has Peterson. Peterson dispossessed. Peterson was tackled by Holscher there. Now Bronco heads it to the far sideline. Asensio Cueva got there first, but could not keep it in play. Just over 17 minutes to play. The Wildcats will throw from right in front of the Dolphins bench. Once again, Daemen cannot afford to allow a goal. The Dolphins need to score 2. CSI's playoff hopes are on the line. That's sent toward the top of the box. And it's over the near side. A pair of Dolphins substitutions will check into the game. So, and Angulo both waiting at the scorer's table, and they will both check in. Bronco is one Dolphin off. I did not see the second. Clock continues to run. CSI throws into the midfield. Good touch there by Peterson using the head, and now he's moving forward with some speed. Roger Moen giving chase along the near side. Peterson sends one into orbit up over the netting behind goal. That's not the first time today we've said that. Same thing happened to the Wildcats at the other end.
And number 6, Mohamed So, checking in for CSI.
Second Dolphin off is making his way off from behind the net. I believe that's Lopez, who made his way off along the near side as he walks around the perimeter of the field. So Lopez off along with Bronco. 15 and a half to play from Dolphin Soccer Park. Joffrey heads it. Kashenko was waiting. Now So gives chase. So gets there. He's being pressured from behind. Keeps it in. Got it to Peterson. Peterson into the box. And that's knocked away by the Wildcats. And Angulo got a body on it to keep the play alive. Alvarez Rivera had his shot blocked. That's sent into the midfield. It was met by Astudillo and taken away by Asensio Cueva. Alvarez Rivera with good dribbling to keep possession. Wanted Asensio Cueva, but had it broken up. Bartlow had his pass intercepted by Flores. Angulo got it to the far side, and after the Dolphins worked it in, that ball was sent over the benches and out of play. Clock stopped once again at 14:37. Injured player down just shy of midfield. Down player was Dennis Montero Guerrero, and he will head over to the Daemen bench. 14:37 to go. Second half. Dolphins need to score twice, and time is running out. That ball chipped into the air. Wildcats pursuing it in the midfield. They do get there. Astudillo got a body on it. He continues to battle with Joffrey, and the Dolphins will throw. Throw goes to Angulo. Quickly taken away by Espana. Angulo gets it right back. Angulo finds Angulo. Daniel has plenty of room here. Up ahead toward Peterson. Getting a foot on it was Roger Moen. He could not keep it in. Peterson, long throw into the box. He has So right on target. Kashenko got a foot on it. Looking for a lane. And the attempted pass off the mark. Foul committed by the Dolphins. And that was as good a look as the Dolphins have had since the goal. Kashenko was able to turn and try to send it toward the middle of the box. He had Alvarez Rivera, but the pass was just a bit behind him. Didn't miss by much. Good effort by the Dolphins there on the attack. They'll need more of that in the last 13-20. Ball sent long. Thompson will play it on a couple of hops. He sends it up toward his own bench. Asensio Cueva being pressured by Astudillo. He gets it to Angulo. Right back to Asensio Cueva, who just got there in time to keep it in. Wildcats certainly didn't think so, as Asensio Cueva gave a shove there. The officials let it go, and the Dolphins will throw in. Throw goes to Alvarez Rivera. It's sent in the air by Asensio Cueva. Now Alvarez Rivera is thrown down to the turf, and it will be a free kick for the Dolphins. The head official says no, and it is taken again. Angulo, shot high into the netting, but it was partially deflected. Corner kick, Staten Island, and this is a big one. 12 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. Dolphins trail by a goal. Angulo's corner. Center of the box! Headed by So and saved! Make that McGuire, who got a piece in front. I will double check on the replay. What an opportunity for the Dolphins, who nearly got even, and a huge save by Marcos Lerma Escobar. We'll get a second look at it. That was a great corner kick by Angulo, giving his team a chance to get even here in the late stages. And that was So who got ahead on it. McGuire was also in the area. So tried to track it down off the rebound and could not get there in time. The clock was stopped at 11:56. And that's where we resume here. That ball sent a mile high. Thompson waiting for it, and Thompson's got it. He quickly rolls it up to Asensio Cueva, but it's taken away. Numbers here for the Wildcats. The Dolphins looking to get back. Cross. Busalia sends it high and wide. Dolphins will make a change here.
Number 12, Javier Campos.
Javier Campos into the game with just over 11 minutes to play. For him, these will be the final 11 minutes plus that he plays on his home pitch as a Dolphin. If the Dolphins do manage to come back and qualify for the playoffs, they will not host the game. Campos for McGuire. He moves ahead, and that ball is cleared away by the Wildcats. Flores got ahead on that one, fortunately so. He had Wajed waiting for him, and he wanted to take that ball forward toward goal. This is Joffrey. Peterson. Peterson gets away from Rajamoan. Avoids a challenge. Peterson to McGuire. That's sent into the air. So got a piece, but it's not on goal. He sent it parallel to the goal line. The Wildcats may have gotten a piece, and it will be a Daemen goal kick. We'll get a look at that last attempt by So on replay and see if it was disrupted. The Dolphins have been looking to him quite a bit down the stretch in this game as they turn to one of their three captains for a potential equalizing goal. And it looks like that shot may have been blocked. So hard to tell with the wide camera shot, but it looked like that very well may have been blocked on replay, as we are now inside of 10 minutes to play from Dolphins Soccer Park. Throw in for the Wildcats. Espana quickly gave it away. That's not what Daemen was looking for. They'll have to hurry back defensively. The Dolphins cross midfield. Campos. For Angulo, he has room. Angulo shoots! And once again, it's just high. The Dolphins have had a lot of great chances in this game that have not been on goal. So many that have traveled just high, just wide, off the crossbar, and off the post. Shots on goal, 7-2 in favor of Staten Island. And with just 2 shots on goal, Daemen has found the back of the net twice, and they lead it 2-1 with under 9 minutes to play. Angulo moves ahead. He's met by a pair of defenders. Plays it back to Flores. Flores for Campos up the far side. He will not take it across midfield as the Dolphins continue to try and find a lane. Campos wanted Angulo. Couldn't get it to him. That pass was broken up at the last moment, and now the Wildcats look to play it through the midfield. Wajed against Flores. He commits the foul. Dolphins with no time to waste here. They take the free kick quickly. Joffrey moves toward the midfield stripe. Joffrey will continue to take it himself. He now has Peterson. Peterson, good touch. Beats his marker down to the corner. Turns around. Peterson, cross. Kashenko could not get a head on it. So will head it on goal. And that is saved once again by Lerma Escobar. Chance after chance for this Dolphins team late in this game. They are knocking on the door in search of an equalizer. Here's a second look at that last attempt on the header. Kashenko just couldn't get high enough, but so could. Unfortunately, not a lot on that one. And an easy save for Marcos Lerma Escobar. 7:20 to play. Here comes Joffrey. Joffrey has his pass intercepted, but knocks it back down, and it's sent away. Ball down around the corner. This is Angulo. Angulo up the far side. Good ball, and Asensio Cueva kept it in. Asensio Cueva heads it a second time. And we have a whistle and a foul. It goes against the Dolphins. Dolphins bench did not like it. Free kick Wildcats, 6:25 remaining. They are taking their time ahead of this free kick. That's unsurprising, as that's sent toward the top of the penalty area, and it was off the head of Campos and into the arms of Thompson. 6:10 remaining. Joffrey up the near side. He moves into the midfield. Joffrey gets it to Peterson. Peterson retreats. Alvarez Rivera moving ahead. He has some space. Wanted Kashenko redirected toward Angulo. Angulo for Peterson. Peterson may look to cross again. Peterson toward the end line. Joffrey, cross. So on the bicycle kick, it is just high. Perhaps more than just high, but So made a bid for an incredible goal there. And no more fitting time than now for that attempt. Here's another look at it on the replay. And So looking to make the highlight reel with that attempt. Just over 5 minutes to play. If you're a fan of the Wildcats, you are just hoping that they can maintain this lead. A draw does not help Daemen University. I almost made it through the entire day without making that error. The Wildcats will throw in here. 4:40 remaining. Once again, they are taking their time. Wisely so, as that throw-in goes deep into the attacking third. The Dolphins take possession. That's sent a long way up the pitch, and it was cut off nicely. Good play there by Lundin to make sure the Dolphins couldn't go any further without throwing first. Peterson lost it. Angulo for Peterson. Peterson nearly got away. He goes down and can't believe there wasn't a whistle, but the Dolphins still have it. It was knocked away, and now the Wildcats moving forward. How about the spin on that ball? Campos trying to get a read on it, and it's sent toward the Dolphins bench and out of play. 3:40 remaining. With each passing second, the Dolphins are shifting more into spoiler mode. They need 2 goals to keep their playoff hopes alive, but they could end Daemen's season with a score. Wildcats, of course, hoping to avoid that. They're 3 minutes and 20 seconds away from keeping their season alive. Angulo for Peterson. He has plenty of room. Here comes Peterson. He sends one into the box, and it's over. Kishenko too high. Kishenko and So have been right in the middle of things, down in the penalty area. Joffrey throws. Flores sends it long. It's headed by Roger Moen. Angulo toward McGuire. And McGuire unable to get there. Goal kick, Wildcats. Under 2.5 minutes to play from Dolphin Soccer Park. Lerma Escobar taking his time ahead of this goal kick. Angulo gets a body on it. Now Alvarez Rivera toward the near side. He has Joffrey. Joffrey to Peterson. And it's going to be a Wildcats throw. Under 2 minutes to play. Daemen can go into all-out defense mode right now. Sometimes there may be no defending a ball like that. Fortunately, they get the bounce. This is Angulo. 1:40 remaining on the clock. Now Flores. He's going to send it long again. Kishenko and McGuire were both there, and that's a poor clearance. Throw in Staten Island. Under 90 seconds to play. Peterson gave it away, and it's cleared. There's nobody back for the Dolphins outside of Flores. Campos is giving chase. And a foul is committed by the Dolphins. The clock continues to wind. And time is running out on CSI. We'll see if the Wildcats can keep this one down at this end of the pitch. That's what they need to do here. They don't need any scores. They just need to keep this game right where it is, and they will very slowly make their way over to take this free kick. Ball trapped in the corner. Dolphins do come out with it. A CSI goal would end Daemen's season. That's over everybody. The Wildcats likely need to clear it just one more time, and they do. 15 seconds remaining. Flores muscles a man off the ball, but time may have just run out on the Dolphins, so sends it over the near side. And with that, the Daemen University Wildcats keep their season alive. And with just one game remaining in conference play, they will travel this weekend to play for a potential spot in the East Coast Conference playoffs. I will get the up-to-the-moment standings for you in just a few seconds, but for the Dolphins, their season is over. With that defeat, the College of Staten Island cannot qualify for the postseason. As for the Wildcats, that victory improves them to 3-1-1. Make that 3-3-1, excuse me. And they are hoping for one more big victory in their final match of 2022, and then some help. And the help is very important. They need Roberts Wesleyan to either lose or tie. And the tie is dependent upon the tiebreakers. The Red Hawks and the Wildcats tied in their lone meeting this year. So depending on the tiebreakers, it could be a very interesting final day of the season. But one thing is for sure, the Wildcats need to win to qualify for the playoffs. The Dolphins' season ends in their second-to-last game on their home turf. And you can see a lot of the Dolphins out on the pitch, just exasperated with how that game ended. Disappointed with how their season ended, but it was a good effort from the College of Staten Island today. You take a look at the scoring chances, and the Dolphins certainly could have won this game. They weren't more than a few inches away on more than one occasion from putting the ball in the back of the net at least 2 or 3 more times. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, they could not make it happen, and their season comes to a close on their home turf against Daemen University. So for us here on CSI Sportsnet, that is a wrap for the soccer season. We thank all of you who joined us all season long for both men's and women's soccer. I was solo for just about every game this year. I think I did have Nick Durst with me on the call once earlier in the season. But this has been Joe Foreman bringing you CSI Sportsnet coverage of Dolphin soccer all season long. I will be back with you 2 weeks from Friday as the Dolphins will open up the basketball season. For those of you who have also tuned in for our swimming broadcasts, we have another one coming up on Friday as well. I chime in from time to time during the swimming broadcast to provide some updates via voice, but I'm needed at the stats desk during our swim meets, so the contributions I can make to the broadcast during those meets are minimal. You will hear my voice at least a bit this coming Friday as the Dolphins host Western Connecticut State for their second meet of the season. Both the men and women will be in action on Friday night. That meet gets underway from the tank at 5 p.m. So until then, this has been Joe Foreman. Thanks again for tuning in all season long. Our final score here on the last day of the men's soccer season, their last home game, I should say. The Daemen University Wildcats 2 and the College of Staten Island 1. We'll see you all this Friday, and if not then, come basketball season on November 11th.